how do you prepare for software engineering interviews while you're already working full time? If you're watching this video, you're likely working at least 40 hours a week, maybe more, and you're wondering, how do you prepare for interviews, leak code, system design, everything you need to study while you're working full time? Well, I'm going to walk through the exact interview prep strategy that I used to get offers from Amazon and Google, and you can see the offer letters over here, Amazon and Google. And so the typical advice that everyone gives is to just go through the NeetCode 150, right? Classic list, NeetCode 150. They'll say, hey, go through arrays, then go through two pointers, then go through sliding window, and learn the patterns one at a time. Then there's stacks and binary search and trees and graphs, and it just keeps on going. And here's what I think. I don't think this is actually the best approach, especially for interviews in 2026. And, no hate to NeetCode. I'm actually, he's a friend of mine, he's a colleague of mine, and he does have an amazing platform, but I don't actually think that just going through the NeetCode 150 pattern by pattern is an effective use of your time, especially if you are working full-time right now. And here's why. The reason is, when you get into a software engineering live coding interview, the interviewer is not going to tell you what pattern to use. They're not going to tell you, use two pointers to solve the problem. They're not going to tell you, okay, use a sliding window to solve this problem, or use a stack data structure to solve this problem, right? They're just going to give you a random problem. Sometimes it's just on a Google Doc if you're actually interviewing with Google, and they're going to say, okay, solve the problem. And they're not going to tell you what data structure or algorithm to use. You have to figure that out yourself. And so if you're just going through the NeetCode 150 pattern by pattern, if you solve all the arrays questions, if you solve all the two-pointer questions, if you solve all the sliding window questions and so on, well then you're kind of cheating in a way because you're being told the pattern or data structure to use beforehand, and that's not really representative of how interviews are, especially in 2026, where software engineering interviews are becoming more and more unpredictable. And so what is the best approach then? The best approach, what actually worked for me to ace interviews at Amazon, Google, as well as several other top tech companies, is actually still using NeetCode's platform. It's a great platform. Again, no hate to the guy, no hate to the platform. But instead, just do random questions, right? So you can click this random problem here, and you get a random problem from the list. So I just got find minimum in rotated sorted array. And if I then go ahead and click on this problem, and I'll open it in a new tab, it's not actually going to tell me what pattern to use, right? I have to go ahead and try and solve the problem. Now, if I remember it correctly, I think it's a binary search question, but that's besides the point. And then once you solve that problem, you can say hide random problem, and then choose random problem again, and then go ahead and solve this next one called car fleet. And now I don't even know what type of problem car fleet is, so this is me actually trying to spend 20 to 30 minutes trying to solve this problem is a way better use of time than just doing problems where I already know the pattern beforehand, because that's not really preparing you for how interviews are, especially in 2026, where tech interviews are becoming more and more unpredictable. And so I'm not saying you have to use this approach. If you want to do it pattern by pattern on NeetCode, that's also fine. Do whatever floats your boat. But this is ultimately what worked for me to get offers from Amazon and Google, so I thought I would share it with you. And if you're struggling to land interviews right now at these top tech companies, I've got a separate video that explains exactly how to actually reach out to recruiters at top tech companies like Amazon and Google. And that video should be popping up somewhere on the screen now. So I'll go ahead and see you there, and I'll talk to you soon.